This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. I'm here with Hector from the Chill Dude on the Couch. And this is going to be our first, collaboration of an album review. So we've done other collaborations, but they've been top tens. But this is going to be our first new album review, and we're talking about Rammstein, the new album Zeit. And so what we're going to do is we'll talk about our first impressions. We'll just go through like track by track. We'll give our final thoughts. We'll give a score, what we thought about it, and then that'll be it. So anyway, so Hector, why don't you, your first impression, what was it of the album?
So I had a good first impression of the album. Obviously, for Rammstein, this is not a band that you can review on first listen.
Yeah.
They always being a band to me that first of all, like I gotta read the lyrics. It's in German. I don't know German to get a better feeling of what the songs are about. And it's like a peeling an onion. But on first impression, when I started listening to the album, the first listen, I was enjoying it more than the last three albums. Because on the previous unreleased, the self-titled, I love the single Deutschland. Yeah. But basically, that's the only song that I really love from that album. And from this album, I thought it was interesting that the singles that they chose are not the best songs. Because usually when a band releases an album, they release like the strongest song, even though I love Zeit, but Zigzag, not so much. But I thought that this album, there was a better flow to it than their last albums. And I thought that they capture a lot of the essence of like the old albums. To me, this album sounds like a combination of the first four albums like mixed, because there's some songs that reminded me of Risa. There's some songs that reminded me of Mother, and there's some songs that remind me of the first two albums. So I thought it was a great representation of the band. And after repeated listens, I wasn't bored with it. And I think it's their best release since their first four albums. At least that was my opinion.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Actually, on my first listen, to be honest with you, I guess I didn't like it that much. Like you said, Rammstein kind of, it takes a while to kind of get into. My first listen, I was kind of unimpressed. Like you said, the singles I didn't really like as much. There were other songs that I liked a lot better. The third single, I'll talk more in detail later. That one, Angst, I like that one a lot. Now, after a few more listens, I thought it was good. Like Rammstein, they kind of like changed, they changed producers. Their original albums were produced by, Jacob Hellner. And then they have this new guy, I don't remember his name, but he is a guitarist for the band Emigrant. And I know the sound was like a little more like polished in like these last two albums. But at first, I didn't like it as much. It is growing on me a lot. But so that's what I'll say. I guess we'll talk about the songs. I'll go into more detail as we do give our final thoughts on, where I would like put this in my score and everything. But so anyway, that's it. I have like some notes here, and I will actually I have like the translations in English. I don't really understand the deeper meanings behind every song, so I do have the English translation. So first song is called Army der Tristen, and the translation is Army of the Dreary. So I'll let you go first with that song.
Yeah, I saw the translation like Army of Sadness too. So okay. That song starts with some classic electronic elements from Rammstein. That I thought it was a great starting song. You have some electronics mixed with the electric guitar. So that song kind of reminded me a little bit of their vibe from their first album. So I thought it was a solid start. It wasn't the best opening starting song, but I thought it was solid. It wasn't Deutschland,
Yeah.
But I thought that it was a decent opener that set the mood of what the album, like the themes are about in essence.
Okay. For me, I guess it was okay. Yeah, I wasn't really like blown away with it. I think it was kind of a little like a slower song. Sometimes with a Rammstein album, you want like the first song to be like really good, but I thought it might have like lacked a little bit of energy. It was good. It has the electronics. The guitars were maybe a little lower, and it was kind of like a little more of like a slower type of song, maybe a little more mellow, but it was decent. Not the greatest of openers, but maybe you probably liked it a little more than I do. So that's my thoughts on track one. Okay, track two is the first single, Zeit. So I'll let you go on that one.
So that one actually it grew on me more
Yeah.
when I started listening to it, and I think they should have started the album with that song. Actually, I think the album's name Zeit. I think that would have been great. It's obviously about time.
Yeah.
I like the female like vocal sounds throughout the song. It's very haunting.
Yeah.
Obviously, as a first single, at first it's not a super like hard song, but I think it's a very strong song. I liked it from the get go, and as the context with the album, I really like it because it's all talking about like time is finite. How they're like you age, and that's a constant theme that goes through the record. And
Yes.
I thought that I like the Till Lindemann's voice on this one. I think was a standout. He really gets to sing on this one when he goes with the side. He really does some great singing on it. And I would have, like I said, I would have opened the album with that song.
Okay. Yeah, that's true because in the previous album they opened with the lead single Deutschland. This one, again, upon first listen, I wasn't really blown away. It did grow on me a lot. I think it's the kind of song you gotta kind of like listen to a few times, kind of get into it. I like it. It is kind of mellow. They had like electronic sounds, and the lyrics. Again, I didn't really understand all the lyrics, but I like the tone of it. Like sometimes you don't have to understand it. It's just like the whole like atmosphere of it kind of gives you a feeling of what it's about. But I do like the heavier parts. Like towards the end. So it's not like not like just another ballad. It's just it does have some like heavy, chunky like riffs that I like. I thought it was decent. For me, I wouldn't have put this as the lead single. I probably would have went with Angst, which we'll talk about later. But I thought it's a decent song, but I don't think it was the best choice for lead single. That's in my opinion. Okay, track three, Schwartz, which means black. Okay, I'll let you go first. Yeah.
So that song, it's a slower song, but and I was reading the lyrics. So it's all about like depression, darkness, like going to bed and embracing the darkness.
Yeah.
When I was reading it, it's like, yeah, it's real depressive. But something I really like about that song is the part when the piano takes over, the tan 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 tan. I think that was the sweet spot on the song. It's a slower song, it's a more mellow song, but it's a good song. I like it. I think it's strong. Not blown away by it, but I think it's a strong song.
Okay. For me, it's decent. I do like the piano parts. I like how it's like very like a dark tone. They have some like heavy stuff. Again, the guitars might be like a little low in it. I do like these like the heavier Rammstein songs, which we will get into. Like with the next one, of course. But I thought it was decent. It's not really a great song, but it's good, pretty good vocals, and it does have that nice like dark tone. So. Again, so far, like the first three songs, I think that's probably why I didn't really like it at first. It was just like I wasn't really blown away by the first three songs, but after this is when it really starts to get good for me. So anyway, we'll go into track 4, which is a giftig, meaning toxic. So I'll let you go with that one.
Yeah, toxic or poisonous. That one, it's a shorter song, but that one really punches in with the guitar. That one really reminds me of the first album. The acid Like it goes with the
Actually, I like that.
yeah, it really reminds me of classic Rammstein.
Yeah.
And it's to the point. It's fast. It's a heavier song. So yeah, I love that one out of the gate. You know, I thought that would have been great, and it was a great putting forth. You know, since it's the first ones are slower, that one wakes you up. You know, that one's like, okay, yes, that one, the guitar kicks in, everything just flows well. Till Lindemann's vocals are great, the guitars are great, and it's really classic Rammstein first album all the way on that track. So I really love that track.
Okay, yeah, I have a lot of the same things. I really love this one. I think this one could have been either like a lead track or possibly a single. You know, it is classic Rammstein, like you said. You know, for me, I'm looking at my notes. I put that it was like something more like the Mutter album. That's kind of what I felt. But you know, that was just my impression of it. But you know, like we both said, classic Rammstein. Those like 4 original albums. And like I said, it's just heavy industrial. It's fast, and it's just really great to hear a heavy song after the 3 opening songs, which were kind of mellow. So this was, so far out of the first 4, my favorites of the first 4. So, and I like the heavy ones. Okay, now going into a Zigzag. Now the translation I have here is called Snip Snip. It's about like plastic surgery, right? So I'll let you take over for Zigzag.
Yeah, that one as a single, I at first I wasn't liking it that much, but it's a good song, and the video is awesome, and I like the beat on the guitar, but it's more campy, more campy Rammstein. It kind of grew on me more. I think it was a good as a single, but I would have picked another song over it. And the subject matter, again, they're talking about time, about like being old, needing operations on you and changing. So it's a constant theme. So it goes with the theme in the album. And after repeated listens, it's a catchy track that I enjoyed, and I think I would enjoy it more in a live setting than on an album. So it grew on me. So I would say it's a good song.
Okay, so I think with this one, it was a single. I heard it before, and my first listen was watching the music video, and I guess that's kind of like made an impression, because it was a very kind of a campy kind of music video, kind of strange, and with like all those like that makeup and all the colors, and it was a different type of music video for them, and that I guess that I kind of like formed my opinion based on the video. But like you said, I didn't really like it at first, but it did kind of grow on me a little. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a decent song. And the album that it kind of reminded me a little of like the Saints album for some reason. It was just the use of like the guitars and the electronics just reminded me of that for some reason. And the Saints album, yeah. So anyway, so that was mine. I think it's decent, but again, so far we're 5 tracks in. My favorite track so far is number 4, but anyway, let's moving on. So track 6 is Okay. The translation is in German, it's ohne Kondom, or without a condom. Rammstein always have to they have like these like sexual well, this is not the worst of it, but I'll let you go first. Yeah.
So that's an interesting song. When I reading the lyrics, it's all about like having sex without a condom. I believe I was trying to interpret the lyrics like she's on her period or something.
I think something like that.
Said something about drip. I was trying to interpret the lyrics, but musically, I like that song. The song it's mid-pace, and it has some great guitars on it, and it's darker in tone. Obviously, the lyrics. I couldn't understand it very well. Like, okay, no condom. So at first, when I thought that the song was okay, I thought it was about something else. I don't know why I felt okay. Maybe I thought that the song could be about like suicide or something. But then when I read the lyrics, I'm like, nope, it's about having sex without a condom. Okay. But yeah, it's an enjoyable song. I'm not, I feel the lyrics are strange, but musically I liked it.
Okay. So yeah, like you said, the lyrics, Rammstein, they love to like write about these like, like real weird like sexual topics, and I like it a lot. And I think like the fact that I like don't understand the lyrics is probably why I like it a little more than maybe the songs that I do understand, like Pussy or Te Quiero Puta. Like those are the languages I understand, but but the song itself, it's heavy. It's old school, heavy riffs. It just has like the nice riffs. The electronics I like, kind of like 80s, like a goth. I like that part. Towards the end they do some like thrash metal stuff and have some of those like choir sounds. So the song is really good. Like I said, the lyrics, I didn't really dive deep into the lyrics to do a full translation. Who knows? I mean, if they play this live, I mean, who knows what they're going to do with this one? But
you know what? Actually, reading the lyrics, kind of like, I liked it better when I didn't read the lyrics. I don't know
that's
why.
what I was trying to say. Yeah,
I read the lyrics. I'm like, what is this? Because musically, it's really good. But the lyrics they made no sense to me. I'm like, what? Because it says part like, have the sex, drip, drip. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it reminds, it's like kind of like a buck dish, which is bent over.
Yeah.
That type of like feel of a song, because buck dish is like, it's like really fast song. So this one's like similar to that sensuous type of like song, like this is like a new buck dish.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to explain it. Okay, that's cool. So we're on track 7, and Mind Training, translation My Tears. So I'll let you go with this one.
That one, I don't know why, it kind of reminded me like Motor vibes, but not as good as Motor.
Yeah,
I would call it Motor light. I was reading the lyrics because it's My Tears. It's about a grown man living with his mother, and I'm guessing there's some issues there. So it was a slower song, and I think they tried to catch that Motor vibe, but it's not as great as Motor is very memorable. This one, I thought this one was okay. And I thought that after a few songs that were fast, they put on the brakes on this one.
Yeah.
So I'm not, this one is okay. I didn't love it.
Okay. This one, I thought it was pretty good. It's a ballad, but like one of the like darker ballads, like I said with the Mutter song. It's dark, it's good. I didn't really like look into the lyrics, that deeply, but the way you explained it kind of makes sense. I think it's decent. Like I said, it's not as good as Mutter, but I think it's a decent song. Okay, so we'll go up to track 8, Angst, the 3rd single. Now the translation,
one of the best songs.
What? Yeah,
one of the best songs on the album.
I think it's one of the best metal. The translation I have is it says fear, so I would think angst in English, but anyway, that's German.
Yeah, I thought it was angst as in fear, and the lyrics for that one are strange as well, because they talk a lot about like fearing the black man, which I'm like, are they? I thought they were referring. I think the black man is deaf.
I guess that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has to be deaf, and it's all about it's a more like heavy song, heavy guitars. I thought this one would have been, if that song would have played on the second album, it would have fit right in after An Angle and after a Du Hast, that would have perfectly in, and the video is amazing too. It's they make great videos, but yeah, I think that song, Till Lindemann sounds great. The guitar sounds great. It sounds like classic Rammstein. And I think that would have been, like you said before, that should have been the lead single.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good lead single.
That's a great lead. I would, if I would have been them, I would have put that as a single, and then I would have released Zeit as a single, and I would have Zigzag dropped it as a single, and I would have done the fourth song that we like as a single. But oh well. But yeah, Angst, I think it's great. You know, it's classic Rammstein. It has some great guitars and electronics on it. It flows pretty well. It's really memorable, and it has replay value. And I think it should sound amazing live. And I think it's gonna be a very requested song.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Pretty much everything you said. You know, I think it would have been a great lead single. You know, it's heavy. The riff, it's good. You know, it's kind of simple riff, but you know, it just sticks in your head. Very catchy, and you know, the song takes some nice, you know, twists and turns. You know, some like dark parts, some heavy parts, and really great vocals by Lindemann. I really like the vocals on this one. You know, he has those really heavy vocals. So this would be again one of my favorites. Okay, so moving on, another one of those I guess kind of cringy songs. It's called Diction. And the translation, I guess, either like big tits, fat tits, or something like that.
Or big boobs, yeah.
Big boobs, yeah, like that. I'll let you go.
That song, you know, I knew when that was an easy one. I knew what it was about. Like the title, it was pretty like dicka titten. You could titten tits, you know. I could tell right away what it's about. And musically, it starts at the beginning with like that horn where it sounds like they're going off like a fox races or something. I thought of something like catching a fox. But musically, the guitars are great. Musically, the song is great. Lyrically, it's trash. like when you read the lyrics, I was reading the lyrics about that one. So he's saying about like when he sings well on it, but when he's singing da da da, he's just saying that he wants a woman. She doesn't have to be smart. She doesn't have to be accomplished. She just has to have big knockers. I'm like, oh, I'm like, really? It's like it's very like childish. But so the lyrics are terrible, but musically it's great. Like it's super punchy song. Like if they would have done a song about something else, this song would have been one of the best songs on the album. It's just the lyrics that kind of take it down. But you know what? It's not as bad as Te quiero puta or pussy.
Yeah,
because it's in German and they don't say dicke titten that much, like, you know, pussies. So I think it's less cringy. And musically, it's great. You know, the guitars on it are great. It's very crunchy, very punchy. It's just that the lyrics would be like a lyric that a 12 to 13-year-old would write.
Yeah, no. yeah. This band has a tendency to do that. Yeah, like I said, like you said, I agree with everything you said. It's like great song instrumentally, but lyrically, it's just, you know, cringy. But I do like that, like the melody in the beginning. I guess like an old, like from the 50s, or like I said, Catching a Fox or whatever. I like that, and then they incorporate it into the song later. That was really good. But it just, the song has like some of the best riffs, and I think it would be like, I enjoy it, like if you don't like pay attention to the lyrics. And I'm glad they didn't like use any English in it, because it probably just would have like sounded like horrible if they did use English in it. But luckily, it's all in German. And like I said, well, instrumentally, like one of the best songs, but lyrically, like again, one of the worst. So that's good. Okay, so we're up to track 10. This is a different type of song called Lügen, which means lies. This one was a little different. I'll let you go. You talk about this one. Lügen.
That song to me is a mixed bag, because it has some of Till Lindemann's greatest vocals on the album, but they also abuse auto-tune on a part of the song. And I was like, why? He doesn't need, Till Lindemann does not need auto-tune. And I don't know why I've never heard a Rammstein song without auto-tune. So I thought that was weird that they did that, a weird choice. Because if you take the auto-tune away, that's a great song. And lyrically, it's all about, he's talking about like he's a man who has like a family, because I'm like, I gotta read the lyrics. Like he has a family and it seems like it's all great, but it's lies. Like he's a piece of shit. Like he cheats, he does bad things. So, but when he goes Logan, and then they do the auto tune, I was like, why? Why did they? It wasn't. It took away from the song to me, and it made it from a great song to
Yeah.
It dropped some points to me with the auto tune, because it's not only that they didn't use it, like you can tell right away that it's auto tune. So that to me, like I thought it was a weird choice. I don't know if they did it like to emphasize like the lies, but it was weird to me. But
yeah,
besides that, it's a great song.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think the auto tune, it sounded very strange. Like I said, I mean, Lindemann, he doesn't need auto tune.
No.
And it's that type of auto tune that was like popular during like those rappers in like the 2000s, like T-Pain. Remember, like that type. It was kind of strange, but it was only like one part of the song, and it wasn't the whole song, so that was okay. But again, the song does lose a little from that. But the rest of the song really great. It has a nice melody. It's almost like the melody reminded me of like a children's like lullaby, like that, like soft like piano kind of thing. I like that part. And then there's like right after the auto-tune part, it does this like weird, I don't know how to explain it. It's like dun 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 dun. It does this weird like strange turn. Something like that, where they have like this like weird like keyboard effect where it just gets like really fast or something. I like that part. I thought it was pretty cool, because I like when these songs take these like unexpected turns. But other than that, despite the auto-tune, I thought it was decent. I think maybe if they didn't use the auto-tune, it probably would have been like a much better song. But I thought it was pretty good. And lyrically,
it's a good song.
Yeah, lyrically, like you said, it was really good. Okay, and we're up to the last one of Farewell Adieu, track 11, so the final one. So your thoughts on that one?
So that one, to me, is great, both lyrically and musically. Lyrically, he's talking about this song is an ode to death. He's someone like almost knows that he's going to die, so he's saying farewell to everyone. Which, when I was reading, I was wondering if this is Rammstein saying farewell to the audience, like this could be their last song, their last album. I don't know if that would be the case, but yeah, it's all about like someone who's about to die, and he's saying farewell, adieu, thank you for everything. And I like the pianos on it. The guitars are great. Till Lindemann sounds great on it, and I thought it was a great closing track, to the album. I really liked it.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was a decent song. Maybe not one of my favorites, but it was it's a nice mellow song. Maybe if I like dove deep into the lyrics, I'd probably enjoy it a little more. Like I said, I probably need to go back and like translate some of the stuff. Lyrically, it sounds very good. I thought it was good. It was very mellow. And like you said, like, they're saying goodbye. Is it a real goodbye? Is it the last song? I mean, like, we don't know. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
we don't know.
Hopefully, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's just to me. So, my closing statements or my final thoughts on the album. I thought that the album was very dark, and I think if they they should have kept it dark and not used like a Dicatiten, and they should have kept it dark, because it's really it's an album like almost all the themes are about accepting time. Time is finite. You're going to die. So I'm assuming that the whole pandemic came into the creation of this album, but I think they put in some humor in it, so the album wouldn't be that dark. But I think they should have just left it at full dark for this album. To me, still their darkest album is Motor, without a doubt. And ranking in my Rammstein discography, I think this is the album that I have enjoyed more in the second part of their career, which to me, the first part is the first four album. Then Ronser, like you said in your review, to me, it's like a B-sides. It's like the songs that weren't good for Risa Risa. So they kind of, even though I enjoyed it at the time, they kind of lost me. Then they had the other album, 2009, which I liked it at first, but I haven't replayed it. And the 2019 one, self-titled, I really love Deutschland. But besides that, the other tracks, I didn't love it. But something that this album doesn't have is a single like Deutschland. That it's like I think the Angst is the closest one to get, but it's not as catchy. So maybe that's something that this album doesn't have. But I think this album is an album that should be enjoyed as a whole with the theme. I would have taken out some songs like and left it darker. Like Dit Katit, and they could have made that song about something else and kept the music, and it would have been better.
Yeah.
But it's the Rammstein album that I have enjoyed the most in a long time. So if I have to rate it after repeated listens, I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay. For me, I thought it was good. Pretty much everything you said. Lyrically, it's great. A lot of dark themes. It's a dark album, but then they do have those. Rammstein loves to like put those like cringy kind of like sexual types of songs, and then they kind of seemed like very out of place. So like I said, it would have been that would have been like better if they kept everything like a dark album. Kind of like the Mutter album. I don't think Mutter had any those like sexual songs, or maybe they did, but I'll have to.
I can't remember. Yeah,
I'll have to look at the list, but I thought it was decent. As a ranking, I'd probably go somewhere like towards the middle. Like their self-titled one, I actually like. I think it's like maybe more or less on par with that one. But as rankings, like the ones at the bottom would be like maybe like Rosenrot and Du East, whatever that 2009 album, which I was
yes, it's too long.
Yeah. Something like that. So I'd rank it towards the middle. My score for this, I'm going to go with like a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe I think you liked it a little more than I did. Yeah. Maybe if I just look at the translate the lyrics, I'll read them a little more. Maybe it'll grow on me, because albums grow on you. But so far I wasn't really blown away. I thought it could have been better, but definitely somewhere in the middle for me. Yeah. So anyway, that's it. So let me close up, because my Zoom is telling me I'm.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the countdown, the final countdown.
You got the countdown too. I didn't know if you saw that. So that's right. Let's wrap this up. All right. Anybody still watching? Please subscribe to the Chill Dude on the Couch. I'll leave a link to his channel in the video description. Comment below. Tell us what you thought of Rammstein, and then we'll see you with another collaboration pretty soon. So goodbye, everyone.
Bye.